Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to give you an introduction to layers within Gimp and how I use this when I'm, say, compositing some images into one big image, which I'm trying to do right now for an image on my YouTube channel. Alright, so what I've been working on today was my witch hex stew that maybe you saw that I posted today, and I have all these other images in here. These are all, well, these ones that are sideways are 960 by 540 in shape. So in order to manage this stuff, what you do when you have Gimp, you have this main window that pops up your layers, channels, paths, and then this is the other one I use all the time is my toolbox in here. And what I have selected at the moment is this move tool. And also what I have selected just in light gray you can see is this clip. Alright, so I know my file name for this is called variable gearing for this file. So right now I can move this around because it's the selected layer, because it's grayed in, and I have the move tool set, so I can just grab it and move it around. And notice it's going on top of most everything, but it's going behind this storybook math image here. And that's because storybook math is at the top layer. And if I want this to be in front, then I have to take this image and I have to move it up like that. And since it's still active with the gray area, then it sits on top of all of the other layers that I have in the scene, like this. So good habit is you right click this and you edit the layer attributes, you rename it, and this one's, when the attributes comes up, this is my image called variable gearing. It's a fractal based image that I created in C#. Alright, and then this one below it, if you just left click this, well, it pops up here, but I'm going to call this, this is the dough for the storybook math. So I'll call that dough storybook math. That's for the areas and volumes. The stories, I'll be posting all these stories online. I have about 50 to 60 stories that I'll be posting online, free to read. You can learn one math concept per story. It's good for kids and adults. And yeah, there's both easy and difficult things embedded within these books like this. Alright, so moving around layers is really nice. And then the other thing is, if you can create your own blank layer down here, right? If you just want to create a layer, you can just create a new layer like this. And when I do, it comes up and it allows me to put something in and add a layer. I'll just say OK in here. And there it is, called geometric 3, right? Or instead of doing it that way, I'll just get rid of this one now. I'll get rid of it like this. And sometimes what I'll do, say for instance, I'll bring up my Blender window and say here's this truck, and maybe I want to render this image out real quick just to kind of give it a test, or maybe it's going to go on within that mosaic. So I have this set to frame 58, and a PNG file out to my TMP directory right there, /TMP. With both set on frame 58, I press animation to render it and to save the file. If you just press render, you're not going to save the file. Right? So I've done a quick render on this just as a test. Then when I say add this as a new layer within here, so all I need to do is I'm going to actually open it separately first. Sometimes I'll open it separately. I'll just open and there it is, frame 58 right there. I was there. So there I have my frame 58. So this is just in case you maybe have other images opened, right? So what I'll do is I'll select everything in here and then I'll copy it to the clipboard like this. And then when I paste it, I go edit and I'm going to paste, but I paste as a new layer. And so let me move this toolbox out of the way and move this here. So there it does. It pastes it, makes it the active layer, and I'll immediately edit the attributes and call it truck like that. That way I have a way to remember what it is, and then I can move it up and down in the scene like that. And then so you have to work with the layers in conjunction with the toolbox, because if you're over here on this rectangle select thing and you come over here, that's exactly what it's going to do. You're not going to be able to move it. So then you have to come up here to edit and undo the rectangle select. Make sure you're on move in this case, And well, that ought to be enough to get you started. Layers can be tricky, but it just takes a few steps to get the hang of it. And once you do, then it's pretty easy. Okay, well, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next lesson.